Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the latest episode of the Fuel for Thought podcast, where today the topic of this video is a race review.
Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia. Second race of the season.
I have a notebook.
Oh, yeah, lots to talk about behind the winner.
They're behind the winner,
Yeah,
Max Verstappen.
yeah. So that was a given, but there's lots to talk about.
Oh, I see. I thought you meant there's lots to talk about Max Verstappen. I was like,
No.
what? What?
Not really.
First of all, I think we should give a shout out to Ollie Behrman.
Yeah,
Ollie Behrman
18
is
years old.
18 years old, the youngest Ferrari driver, the youngest Briton,
Yeah,
the third youngest driver ever behind Max Verstappen and Lance Stroll. And also, Fernando Alonso won the World Drivers' Championship in 2005, the year that Ollie Behrman was born.
that's crazy.
And now Ollie Behrman's racing against him.
Yeah. That's
Crazy.
insane.
Bit crazy.
What were you doing when you were 18? Not that. I put it at the pub, right?
Yeah, Weatherspoons,
Certainly
probably.
not.
Yeah, the only pub I could afford, Weatherspoons.
Certainly not jumping in an F1 car with,
No.
less than a day's notice.
I honestly, incredible.
Mm-hmm.
He's so young.
Yeah.
I thought I was young, but yeah, he's he's basically a child still. But yeah, only one free practice.
Yeah.
Then qualified P11, finished P7, and I know he's in a Ferrari, but he hasn't really. He didn't really have much experience in an F1 car.
It's a lot to learn in an F1 car.
Yeah, definitely.
Rookies get an entire pre-season to learn that off the track.
Yeah.
Get an entire 3 days of testing to get their eye in. And so I know he's an F2 driver, but it's very different to an F1 car.
Yeah, and also he wouldn't train as much as an F1 driver would.
Yeah. So, yes, it's a Ferrari. It should be expected to be in the top 10. But
yeah,
still did very well.
Definitely did very well.
Did more than people would have expected of him.
Yeah, for sure.
And so the hype is real around him at the moment.
Yeah. I wonder when he'll come into F1.
You'd like to hope next year, but you never know with this
Yeah, but
market.
obviously it won't be in Ferrari, will it?
No,
So
definitely not.
I wonder if...
Could be Haas, the engine partner.
Yeah, could be. I'd like to see him... I don't know. I'd like to see his potential. Obviously, that was his first time in a Ferrari. Can you imagine what it would be like in his 10th time in a Ferrari? Or having the preparation that normal F1 drivers have.
Yeah.
And then jumping in that car.
I'm not sure about that he'd be Piastri levels. I'd have to see more.
Yeah. But it was lovely to see that, including Alex Albon, 25% of the grid were British. That was... Yeah. Crazy
Anyway,
stuff.
Shall we review our predictions?
Let's review our predictions. We make predictions.
Yeah.
Right. So, what were mine? So, I said Max Verstappen will qualify P3.
Yeah. Wishful
Wrong.
thinking as usual.
Wrong.
Wrong.
Carlos Sainz P2. Obviously, that didn't happen. Carlos Sainz had appendicitis.
Yeah. So you
Didn't
can be
even
forgiven for that one.
Yeah, I'll forgive him. I think he would have got P2 if he was racing. It's good to see he was in the paddock on Sunday. Shout out to Carlos.
Cobbling in.
Yep. And P1 I put Charles Leclerc on
This
pole to qualify
qualifying.
on pole. Yeah.
Okay. So, remind me again who qualified. It was
Max. It was Max, Charles, and Sergio.
Okay. So for qualifying, I put Max, Sergio, Charles. So not far off.
Yeah, because I remember looking at it and I was like, oh no, Will's got it right. And then I was like, actually, no, he's got it the other way around. No. Yes, that's what I was thinking. Okay. My race predictions were...
Wild.
No. P3 George Russell.
Yeah, the Mercedes.
Yeah, the Mercedes.
God, that view from Lewis's car following the McLaren in the high-speed corners.
Yeah.
And just watching him go off into the distance. But then he makes up the time in the sectors 2 and 3. So
That
it's-
was against McLaren though, because McLaren are really slow on a straight line.
Yes.
But they're really quick in corners.
but they've obviously got strengths elsewhere.
Yeah. I mean, they need to get tips from each other,
Yeah.
I think.
So yeah, you put George Russell as third.
So yeah,
which
and then
was probably never going to happen. Now, in hindsight.
No. Wish Mercedes did better, but and then I put Max in P2 and then Charles in P1. My ignorance and naivety has shone
Wishful
through.
thinking. That's what we'll put it down to.
Yeah. I mean, Charles did get third.
He did.
I don't know
Did
why
well,
I keep leaving
actually.
Sergio Perez out. I just
He
I
won.
don't
He won
know.
this race last year and qualified
Yeah,
on pole.
that's true.
So, yeah.
So if anything, he's taken a step back. Right, who was
I
yours?
I put Sainz. Well, nothing I could do about that. Perez and Verstappen. So 2 out of 3.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's good. I mean,
Close.
boring, but correct.
Yeah, but based it on facts.
Straight facts. Straight up. Right. Crazy prediction. Crazy in parentheses or whatever the word is.
Yeah, go on.
So there will be no DNFs. That failed in the first lap, and probably
Pierre
in the
Gasly.
the
Warm up lap.
lap.
Formation lap.
Yeah, that's it. In the formation lap, Pierre Gasly let me down, which also
his fault.
which
Alpine
also
let him down.
my other prediction down. Yeah, Alpine. Sorry, Pierre Gasly didn't let me down. It was Alpine. And one of my predictions was both Alpines to finish in the top 10.
Alpine need to get their act together.
Yeah. Yeah. And then my third one was Alex Albon top 8.
Again, seeing what we saw, that was very unrealistic.
Yeah, but I think it would have been likely if Magnussen hadn't held him up.
No.
Do you not
Wouldn't
think?
have been.
I saw.
But considering Lando and Lewis came 8th and 9th.
That's true. That's true. But they're the only ones that didn't pit when the safety car came out.
Yeah, but
So
then
it
if
could
it
have
wasn't
been
them, it would
strategy.
have been Behrman or Alonso anyway. Either way,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
still 2 drivers
Okay,
that
but
Albon probably wouldn't have overtaken.
I'd like to see what he said. He's cooking up a 3-course meal for Australia. So I'd like to see what that 3-course meal is.
All right, yeah, we'll see.
What were your predictions?
There will be a red flag.
Oh, I actually thought there was going to be at some point.
There was during qualifying.
That doesn't count.
Logan Sargent won't finish last! Exclamation
didn't.
mark. He didn't.
He didn't. I was watching and I was like, oh my God, he's not last. Zhou Guan Yu finished last, didn't he? Because he got screwed over in his pit stop.
And Daniel Ricciardo finished second to last, didn't he?
Yeah, it was one of
He
the
had a
two
little
who finished
spin.
last. Yeah.
And he also had a bad pit stop, I found out afterwards.
Oh,
But
okay.
I don't
Is that
think
why
we
he
saw
was
it.
so bad?
Yeah, but you can't excuse him for spinning, though.
No.
So yeah, and then Albon will qualify in the top 10, which I thought was more realistic than finishing in the top 10.
Yeah.
But he didn't.
But he didn't.
No.
He was close though. But no cigar.
No, not the track for them.
Close, but no cigar, mate.
So yeah, close, but not close, really.
No, I've actually already made my predictions for Australia, but I might sit on them a little bit longer.
Yeah, I think we should.
Yeah, and just mull it over a little bit. I think
Yeah.
I don't know whether I want to be more crazy.
See what
or
comes
more
out in
realistic.
the news.
Yeah,
Yeah.
more things could come out. But I have a few notes on the race
Okay.
on Saudi Arabia. My first note from the race was Pierre Gasly gearbox issue. ... I don't think there's much more we can say about
It's not much
that.
to say. It's just Alpine's misfortune continuing.
Yeah.
The Frenchman in, an awful spot right now.
Yeah, it's sad. As soon as I saw his team radio saying gearbox issue, I was like, if.
Here we go again.
I think I jinxed them with
Yeah.
my predictions.
Yeah.
Sorry, Alpine. Sorry, Pierre. Then, what else did I write? I wrote a few things. Obviously, the first lap, Perez and Charles were fighting in the first kind of few corners, which was exciting.
Yeah. Came very close to each other.
Yeah, but Charles stayed ahead for a little bit. And then Piastri was ahead of Lando because Lando had a false start.
Yeah,
He jumped the start.
Everyone likes Lando, okay? Very charismatic lad. But he definitely had a jump start. He definitely left his grid
They
box.
investigated it.
I know.
And to be honest, I think he was surprised that he didn't get a penalty.
Yeah.
But like looking at the onboard of George, it did look like he had a jump start.
I'm not really one for conspiracies, but you kind of when the stewards are inconsistent, it brings the questions into your head. Like, if it's not a popular driver like Lando, do they get a penalty? Do they not?
Do you really think?
I don't know. Well, no, I'm not saying
Just
that's the
throwing
case.
it out there.
It's just like because of these inconsistencies that arise, or like these questions are kind of raised. That's all.
Yeah. Did you watch it from the side? Because I haven't actually seen a clip of it from the side to see whether
They showed like a
line.
replay of it from kind of an off angle, and it did look like his wheels went over. And Karun on commentary did also say that it looked like he went over and he'll probably get a penalty, and then he didn't. So.
Yeah, I think they have a sensor, and the sensor must not have gone off. That's probably why they didn't give him a penalty.
It's not a big deal. I mean,
no.
End of the day, maybe they used common sense and were like, yeah, it didn't impact his race.
I mean, he kind of got a bit screwed over from it because his start was awful in the end. Obviously, Piastri overtook him. Or Piastri out-qualified him, didn't he?
Don't remember. My mind's been a blur.
They were together on the grid, but yeah, Piastri was way ahead of him. And if you look at the start, he had an awful start, so it kind of hindered his race, if anything.
Yeah.
He didn't get any benefit from it.
Can we talk about that turn 2 camera though? Why did it make the McLarens look red?
I know. I messaged you and I was like, does Oscar have a different colour car to Lando? It looks I was getting really confused between the Ferrari and the McLaren. I was like, who's what?
Yeah, it was weird.
That was it might have been the sun.
No, it was the camera.
Was it dark? Was it the floodlights when the race started?
It was just the camera. Yeah, there's lights all around the track.
I didn't know whether it was sunset or not when the race started.
I don't think it was.
It must have been the camera. Very strange, very strange. I was very confused. Another note I have is DRS not as good for McLaren. So they said that when Piastri was chasing Lewis in the straight lines, Piastri with DRS open only had 6 kilometers per hour more speed than Lewis. Whereas if it was the other way around, Lewis would have had 16 kilometers per hour.
Couple things. Lewis defended really well there. Like, I know that definitely helped. But, yeah, it was nice to kind of see him have the opportunity to defend and do it well.
Yeah, and also he was on old tyres as well, so it was good that he
did it for so long.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing is, when that Red Bull went past that McLaren with DRS, it was ridiculous.
Embarrassing. They've got the rocket in the back of their car.
Ridiculous.
They've stolen Alpine's rocket and they've put it in the back of their car, and that's why Pierre Gasly couldn't start the race.
It's like coming back to Mario Kart when you get Bullet Bill in like 3rd place and just like propel yourself to first.
Yeah, it's really unlucky with that. Like, no, we're lucky for the person, but unlucky for other people. When you're in 3rd place, you get Bullet Bill. It's like, what? That's a P12, mate.
Daniel Ricciardo got red shelled.
From Max Verstappen lapping him.
Yeah.
And then Lance Hull. Sorry. Lance Stroll hit the wall on lap 7, turn 22. And then did you hear his race engineer?
Yeah.
Can you bring the car back, mate? No, it's in the fucking wall. I was like, clearly they're just not watching it. I'm assuming they don't actually watch the drivers.
Well, they're obviously looking at so much telemetry data. I think they do have a feed or a near live feed, but they probably kind of seen the data of a crash, and he's like, I hit the wall. He doesn't say, man, I'm crashed, I'm in the wall.
Yeah.
And so he's like, all right, everything all good? Can you bring the car back at least?
Yeah.
So it's probably just like a miscommunication from that split second, and they haven't been able to see it.
Yeah, they probably replayed it later than when it was actually said.
Yeah.
Probably said straight away.
Yeah.
But it was just funny to... it was just funny. Kevin Magnussen, 10-second penalty for causing a collision with Alex Albon.
Yeah, so this is one of those things that's like, you kind of realise afterwards it's kind of unsportsmanlike behaviour, but it's also like a very rare scenario where, you know, you couldn't do that every week. So it's like, technically you could dive bomb someone to get in front of them and then just slow them down. You know,
Yeah.
take the penalty
Yeah.
because you already got a penalty, and just slow the rest of the pack down so your teammate can have a free pit stop.
Well, I don't think that's planned though. That
No,
wasn't
it's not planned, but the optics of it aren't good.
Yeah.
And
What do you think about them upping the penalty to 10 seconds? Because
They said
that's
that-
from the drivers.
Yeah, they said the drivers wanted it
Yeah.
because, I think probably because people were just taking the penalty and just like gapping them and just,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, I'll just take an easy overtake here. I can't be asked to do it properly.
Yeah.
So it's probably that's why, and
Yeah.
then it forces drivers to race properly.
I quite like it. I like
Yeah.
that they've changed it.
It makes sense.
It does, because they'd literally be 5 seconds ahead in like a couple of laps once they've done it and got the penalty. So the penalty wouldn't affect them. Whereas 10 seconds is obviously more significant and less likely for them to be 10 seconds ahead. So it's not worth it.
Yeah.
But he also got another 10-second penalty
For putting Albon in the wall.
no, that was the first one, for leaving the track and getting ahead of Yuki.
Oh, so that's what I was talking about
Yeah.
before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, the other one was Alex Albon in the wall. Yeah.
That was silly. There's an argument that Albon should have backed out of it, but why should he have backed out of it? Like, it was such close racing, and if you back out of every move like that, then it's like,
What's the point? What's
what's
the
the
point in
point?
racing?
it's like he had a good run, and Magnussen just didn't look and just came across.
Yeah.
So I sympathise for Alex on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I did think it was good gameplay from Magnussen there, because obviously he kept the pack behind him, and it was great teamwork because
Oh, on the
obviously
second one, after the second one.
after the second
Yeah,
one,
it was.
Hulkenberg was able to have that gap to pit and get a point for Haas. So
It was.
and
It's-
that's very important for Haas.
It's just the way he got in front when he had nothing to lose.
Yeah.
That's unsportsmanlike.
Yeah, I agree. It's unfair,
But-
and I was actually getting quite frustrated for Alex Albon because
Yeah.
he was getting frustrated, and I think he definitely could have done better.
Made a couple of good overtakes though.
Yeah, he did.
Certainly the best of that bunch, I think.
Yeah, but it seemed like the whole race was kind of focused on the back bunch who were being held up by K-Mag.
You could literally, on the K-Mag's onboard, hear him come off the throttle.
Yeah,
in certain
yeah,
corners.
they said that, didn't they?
Yeah.
It would have been good defending from him though, to keep them all behind.
It is, and it's like he knows when to slow down and
Yeah.
when he can go full throttle, and the other guys can't catch him because
Yeah.
it's like,
And he was controlling all of them.
Yeah.
Which was good to see. But I guess if you're in a DRS train, it's just difficult to.
well,
get
he
things
wasn't. He
done.
was the front car.
No, exactly. But everyone else,
They obviously have a stronger car in a straight line.
yeah,
So
Yeah.
Haas are actually doing better this year.
yeah, good teamwork.
They
from
got a point.
Haas. Yeah, a point in the second race of the season.
Yeah.
Wow, impressive, I think. And then I wanted to mention that Lewis always praises McLaren and Lando as a driver, and he was saying that obviously the McLaren is fast in the corners, and I do think
High speed corners.
high speed corners, and I do think he was obviously saying this as feedback to his team, but he did sound like he was saying it as like, wow, they're really good. I think he's obviously still got a soft spot for McLaren.
Yeah.
And he obviously really rates Lando as well.
I
So
think he also does it to like observe why he's also slower. He's like, whoa, man, they're so fast.
yeah,
And it's like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Kind of like just letting out some frustration.
I like hearing those radios though. And like I also liked what I mentioned earlier when the commentators, when like Crofty says stuff like how many kilometers per hour more they gain, each car gains from DRS and stuff. Like
Yeah.
the little facts like that are really useful for me.
And Red Bull's just like 25.
Yeah, Red Bull. Literally from like the first lap, you could see Max just in the distance.
They didn't show.
already.
Yeah, they didn't show it. They showed him the second to last lap.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Mental, absolutely mental.
He only won by like 6 seconds, but he probably just wasn't trying.
Just chilling.
Yeah.
Apparently he's on like esports or whatever he plays until
iRacing.
until 4 a.m.
Yeah.
and then just has a few hours sleep and then gets up and he's like, oh, just got to go racing in a Grand Prix, just BRB.
Let me just win.
What did people say on the key? And like if they game, is it BRB?
What?
I feel like I'm a grandma saying this.
BRB.
I don't know.
This is MSN.
MSN, yeah.
Go to
On
the toilet,
MSN.
BRB.
Yeah, but people would just say that and just never come back. Do people still say that? I do personally, but I don't know
if it's like
if I'm just old now.
I think it's like if you're on a call, like a Discord call, and you need the toilet, or you're gonna go get a drink. It's like I'm just gonna get a drink, be right back.
Okay, maybe that's what Max says.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go win the Grand Prix. Be right back.
Right, what's next on your list of notes?
The last thing on it was Sauber pit stop, which
Okay.
obviously screwed Zhou
Not really much
over.
to say about that. They just
No.
yeah.
But Zhou was behind Hulkenberg, so he could have taken advantage of Kevin Magnussen's like teamwork from holding up the pack. But obviously, the pit stop ruined it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, feels like Sauber aren't trying at the moment. I'm sure that's very insulting to the whole team of people that are trying, but it's like it just I don't know. They feel like they're nowhere, and it's like slow pit stops. Like drivers are just like they don't show the drivers, and I don't know. It'd be nice to see more of them.
Yeah,
is what,
I mean, this is
really
the second time this season in 2 races that they've had a really slow pit stop.
Yeah, because you not forget Bottas, like a 9-time race winner.
Yeah.
Hundreds, like tens of podiums. You know what I mean? So
it's just a shame
good
because
driver.
they could really improve like their chances if they just kind of nail these little things.
Yeah. So yeah, it'd be nice to get a bit more insight into what's happening over at the Sauber.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Do you think Sauber are kind of bottom at the moment from what you've seen so far? Or is it too soon for you to judge? I think they are as well.
Although Pierre Gasly is currently 21st in the championship.
Sad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Ollie Behrman's kind of jumped all of the drivers, hasn't he? I didn't put him on my predictions list.
He's got like 1 or 2 less points than Hamilton.
It's crazy, isn't it? I think he's 10th from what I've seen.
Yeah.
I looked it up, but yeah. Crazy. I think if I started go-karting when I was younger, I reckon I could be beating Max Verstappen right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Totally reckon.
It's a shame we'd never know, but I genuinely think I'd be beating him, and I'd be on esports all night or whatever. What was
Esports.
it? What is it?
iRacing.
iRacing.
Esports is professional gaming.
Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if he was a professional gamer and an F1 driver.
Probably could. He's probably not far off their times.
There we go. It wouldn't surprise me at all. He seems to just be like a magician. Honestly. It's crazy. It's actually insane.
Yeah.
I might have to put him as my pole sitter and P1 next week.
Australia.
For Australia, yeah. I think Australia's at 4 a.m. this year. I think. That's what my calendar says. Normally it's 6 a.m.
Well, better go to bed now then.
What, to get up in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 a.m. is pretty early. I normally get up though, so I probably will make the effort. I'll make it an event.
I'll try. No promises.
Well, I'll just be getting up in the middle of the night and then going back to sleep after. Well, if it's anything like the last couple of times, we'll get up, red flag for an hour, have another nap.
It'll start at 8 a.m.
Yeah. Maybe I'll just wake up at 8 and just hope for the best. Hope there's just been a red flag for that whole time.
Yeah. Right, shall we get ready for that? Call it a day then.
Yes, let's call it a day and head down under to Australia, to Melbourne, Australia. I was actually...
Why did you do a Cockney accent?
I don't know. I was driving earlier and I was practicing my Australian accent. This is what I do when I commute. And I was actually really good. I'm not going to do it now.
Yeah, please don't.
Because I think in my head I'm good and everyone else will probably think I'm not. Anyway.
All right, we'll call it a day.
Call it a day, mate. I'll see you in Melbourne.
Yep. All right, we'll catch everyone for Melbourne race predictions. See you next time.
I love Australia. Bye.